Hey guys, thanks for joining me on another video. There's no doubt that the economy is starting to slow down. As a small business owner myself, I've owned my business for 14 years. I've been in small business for 20. I've seen the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys. We can start to feel some friction from our clients, from our vendors, from our colleagues, from our partners in business. And everything that the government's done, that the central banks have done over the course of the last year, I think are starting to come into play in the general economy. We see unemployment rising. We're starting to notice people having problems making payments. So I want to come here today and give you some tips that I've used over my years to ensure that your personal financial situation stays healthy when we come into an economic slowdown. The first tip I'm going to give you is to expect your budget. You know, how much do you think your income's coming? Now, me personally, my small business, I expect revenue. We've had growth years every single year since we started. In fact, even this year, we had a 9.9% growth year to the top line. I expect that we're going to have a 5 to 10% downward loss. I wouldn't even call it a loss, but our top line will decrease by 5 to 10% in the coming year. So what do? I go through all my expense categories and I begin to budget. How much can we expense towards marketing? How much towards entertainment? How much towards office supplies? How much towards payroll? Whatever it is, IT, software, all that stuff comes into play. But now I'm going to create my budget and we're going to follow that budget as we go along to make sure that we stay on track. No surprises, right? You know what you can spend, you know what you can't. You plan at the very beginning, you talk to your team about it, and you go along. Number 2 tip is to try to consolidate some of your expenses. Every year we realize when we go to do our budget that we may be spending in areas that we shouldn't. We may have duplicate systems. A lot of this in our industry is technology. We might have technology that overlaps. So can we find ways to consolidate that? Can we find ways to save money on that? For us, again, we find it in software. It's easy as a small business owner when times are good and the money's coming in and business is booming to scale up, but it's difficult to put the brakes on and then to scale downwards, right? But that's a good way, is that if you look at, you have your chart of accounts, you see what's going to each of your expense items, and maybe you can start to cut out certain items that you really don't need. Number 3 is, if you don't have a line of credit, you should open one. You can keep it there. You don't have to use it, but it's always a good idea to have a line of credit for multiple reasons. Number 1, if you need to get a loan or if you need to get any type of credit facility to lend you anything at all, that includes in the financial sector, the line of credit adds strength to your portfolio because there's money there available. Again, for a nominal fee, for example, our line of credit, we haven't used it, but we pay $250 a year to have it open. And it's just nice to have it there as a safety blanket and to show that we do have it and it's available if we need it. And it adds peace of mind for you because you know there's additional monies there that's liquid. You can draft from it right away. That's available if you need it. The number 4 tip is review your credit card statements all the time, whether that's daily or weekly, because as we know in today's environment, we purchase items and then we get repetitive charges on our credit cards. And a lot of times they're coming in, right? I've done this before. I feel stupid. Then I'm like, oh man, I forgot we were using that service. I haven't checked my cards enough. And now I'm being charged for something that we don't even use. So you can easily get ahead of that, save yourself some money and put more money to the bottom line by cutting out some of those repetitive subscriptions or services that you signed up for at one point, put it on your credit card, and now they're charging you every month and you don't really need it. So check your credit cards is a great practice. Number 5, the final tip I'm going to give you is do whatever you can to protect the best interest of your employees. Your employees are key. In my business, my employees are everything to me. They're what makes our business go. They're like family.
I love them.
So I'm going to do whatever I can to protect their positions, to make sure that they have a stable job, to make sure that they can continue to grow, that they can support their families by cutting in areas that aren't as necessary. Employees should be the last piece that you look at, unless of course you have an employee that's a problem or not a producer or not doing their job or not performing. But I'm talking about your good people that look to you for security, for job stability, to support their family, to support themselves. As long as you can keep them, and everything else around them is where you should cut. If you have to, again, potentially going into a slower economic time. I really hope this video helps. I hope it gives you some options that you can deploy coming into the new year. If you have any questions about anything, whether it's your budgeting, line of credit, if you need referrals, whatever it may be, you can call me directly. My number is 858-384-1507, or you can email me at mike@foagency.com. If you enjoy watching our videos and they help you, please subscribe to our channel. Click that little notification bell so that you're made aware of any future videos that we release. If you can like my video, I'd really appreciate it. Or if you have additional information that could help people watching my video, comment below. We always respond, so we love to hear your comments.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year to you. Have a safe one. I hope that business does well, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.